Thank you, Thelma, for that. I appreciate that. That was very, very needed for me this morning. I've been struggling the last couple days with the stuff going on in the news because even though I don't watch the news, I try to stay away from the negativity. You hear about it at work. Everyone's talking about everything, and it brings you down. It really does. Even though you could be the most positive person, you still feel the effects of the things going on in the world and the things that people are saying. I mean, even when I give the comments, I try to encourage people. You just got to see you have to see and have the faith that God is going to be in it all and he's going to take care of it all. But sometimes it's very hard when you see things just the ball's rolling and it's getting worse and worse and the things that people are saying, that's the outlook, that everyone's giving and it's hard and it's affecting us all in some way or another. And so keeping the faith and staying strong and trying to get the positivity in it all, I get comments from people, how can you bury your head? How can you, act like you live under a rock? That's the comments I've been getting the last couple of days. And I was like, I choose that I don't want to live in the fear. I don't want to live in the fear. I want to live my life and be happy and smiling, enjoying my grandchildren and enjoying life. And if I live the way they're living in the fear, I don't get that. I don't get to have that. So I'm just going to try to keep the faith. And today, that was very needed for my soul. I felt it in my soul that needed to hear those words today. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it, but it's like because we don't get all caught up in it, people think we don't care. And that's the farthest thing it could be from our minds. Of course we care, but we know that there is a power at work through all of this that is going to change things forever for the very highest and best.
Absolutely.
And as we know that for ourselves, it's an energy that goes out from us and it's felt wherever we go, just like the negative energy is felt. The negative energy is heavy. The positive energy is light. And it feels much better. And sometimes these negative things move us to make changes. So it's not a bad thing. It's just not very comfortable right now.
No,
it's very uncomfortable. But we just have to know that right now I'm safe. I'm not experiencing any war or poverty. And of course, I would like to see everyone enjoying their life. But, we all have our own way of enjoying. Some of it doesn't look very pretty. But we still need to know that there's good in it somewhere. And that's our part.
Thank you, Thelma, for your talk today. And thank you, Shelley, for sharing your concerns. And, it's important, I think, to remember that our brain is wired to make predictions based on past experiences. It's what we're constantly doing. Lisa Feldman Barrett, in her research, it's on TED Talk. I can send you the link if anybody wants it. The brain is always making predictions based on what it's already experienced. In my work, we call them negative fantasies. She calls them predictions or positive fantasies. And it's important to remember to being in control of our thinking. And like what I'm hearing you saying, Shelley, is you're someone, who's trying to be in control of your thinking, so that you're thinking about the things that bring you love and allow you to share your grandchildren and your loved ones, as opposed to being in your fear. And the thing is to remember that the fantasy or the prediction is there, but it doesn't mean that's what will happen. And then I need to remind myself of that and then get into the present and just deal with what is happening in the present. And, you know, some of you know Jonathan Fielder, I mean, Jonathan Fielder, and he's very much into Native Americans. And he's shared with me, you know, a video that I watched, and what the Native Americans would do before their warriors went into battle, they would get this ground up corn that was in like a powder, and it would be in a little pouch. And they told them, told the warrior that when you are in the midst of, that battle and that chaos, to protect you, you take some of that corn and you throw it, you know, and it will protect you from being harmed. And I realized just the power in that. If when somebody's in a battle and there's bullets flying or arrows flying or whatever it is, swords being swung, whatever the battle was, it's really scary. And if we start to make predictions based on our past experiences, then we're going to be scaring ourselves so much that we can only fight, flee, or freeze because we're reacting from the amygdala. And so the genius of that powder is if that person believed that, then they can focus on with their thinking that I'm okay. I'm going to be okay. And then they can do what they need to do with the thinking and memory part of the brain and not just be reacting from the amygdala. And if I get shot, oh well, I I got shot, but I thought I was going to be okay, and really I guess I am okay, or else I would have not agreed to get shot. Like you said, Thelma, there are no accidents. And so it's really about what we choose to think about what's going on around us that determines where we are and what we experience. And if we can stay in control of that, then I can watch the news and just see what other people are thinking and then realize that that's a possibility or if that's their fantasy or prediction of what's going to happen, then just wait and see what does happen and then deal with that when it comes. And so just like, a hurricane, we can have all kinds of fantasies, but if we do the best we can to protect ourselves, and then when it comes, it does its devastation, and then we go through and we try to fix everything to get back to, more of what we want it, our normal to be. We all have that choice. And our thinking is very powerful and we're responsible for it. No one can make me think anything unless I let them. And when I see that, then I'm keeping my power. And if I believe you're making me, then I'm giving away my power. It's still my choice. So thank you, Thelma.
Thank you, John Anthony.
And Linda and Robin, I want to remind you or let you guys know that there's going to be a workshop on the 7th of March at 12 p.m. With the same link that we did before. So
Okay, so
the
that's
Zoom link.
March the 7th at 12.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
If I could get myself on,
That's
Good
good.
morning, everybody. I'm actually gonna let y'all see me today because I'm actually dressed. But anyway, Good morning, everybody. And Shelley, thank you for speaking that, because the people around me, they sort of say the same thing to me, but my decision for myself is that, we are contributing to this situation one way or another. And so my choice is to give that energy of love and peace. Because sometimes I feel like I'm crazy. I shouldn't say, but I feel like because I'm going counter to where everybody is, I feel like, is there something wrong with me? But then I remember that we are all energy. And if we're all one, then we're contributing to this oneness. And for me, it's what do I want to contribute? Do I want to be part of the problem or part of the solution?
Mhm.
And so for me, it's to continue to believe in the presence and power of God and see. I keep going back to faith. What's faith? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. There's stuff going on in the unseen that we are not aware of at this point.
Mhm.
And so I just believe that presence and power that's in all of us and everything has its ways and means that we do not even begin to understand. And that's what my teacher told me. So I believe her. She doesn't tell me anything that's not true. And it just kind of, in psychology, they have something called groupthink. And so I don't want to be part of the groupthink. I want to be, I want to be part of the solution. And, I think that it's important, at least for me, to continue to do my work every day, to remind myself and, just to be the beacon of light. It says in scripture, be the beacon of light. Don't hide yourself under a bushel. And so for me, it's the opportunity to be the light in the midst of this opportunity that we're having, because I call it a gift and an opportunity, even though it's not as pleasant as I would like life to be at this moment. But I know that through my journey in my own life, that sometimes what appears bad turns out to be the best thing that could have ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so I keep holding on to that. And, one of my students always says, see it the way you want it to be. See it the way you want it to be. So I hear her echoing in my ear, and I just keep moving forward. And Thelma, thank you so much for your message. For the first time listening to you, I didn't take any notes. And I was able to hear things and I was like, man, I wish I wrote it down. But there's a part of me now that's wanting to listen and just allow what is mine to take to become a part of me. I've been doing some walking lately and listening to Neville Goddard and a few other New Thought leaders. And I'm getting something out of it, even though I'm not taking notes. So I'm experimenting. But I think that you are wonderful, amazing, and such a blessing to me and all of us because you pour into us and remind us of who we are all the time. And I just love you so much. And Madeline, thank you for being who you are. And John Anthony for making this happen. Because I think that these opportunities to have Thelma and to hear her, and now she's on YouTube, is very exciting. So thank you, everybody. And y'all have a great Wednesday. And Thelma, I'll be with you next week.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Right, Madeline? I'm next week.
Yes,
Okay, just checking, confirming.
I would. Yeah, I would have let you know. I would have reminded you. I missed what Shelley said, but I was thinking about all the answers or all the comments, and I don't know if you were talking about the politics of everything and things that are happening in Ukraine, but my sister sent me a video, and she's really in the angst of everything. But she sent me a video, and I don't know what the country was, but they weren't singing in English. It was, I don't know how many people in support of to, what is it, solidarity to Ukraine, were singing this beautiful song in their language. And I swear there must have been 1,000 people on this stage singing this amazing song. And so when everybody was talking, what that brought to mind was that, yeah, we got the news, and we've got the choice, and you could go and find something that is not going to bring you down like the news, because I don't watch the news, and it's an uplifting thing. It's the opposite of what we are seeing on the news. And I just thought it was a beautiful, beautiful, and I listened to it this morning. And like I said, I don't know what their language were, but they had yellow flowers in their hair and they had flags, and they were just common people from the area who were singing this song all together. It was just gorgeous. And like I said, 1,000 people got together, if not more. So I just think the choice that we learned so many years ago, look at what's going on and make the choice. And then support what part of this energy, as Robin was saying, we're part of this energy. And we choose to be part of this energy. Well, which part do you want to be? Because we live on a duality planet.
Mhm.
So there's going to be one or one. Which one? Choose and focus that energy on that. That's what
Yes, I like that. I love that because what my response was when my coworkers were saying, "Do you live under a rock or whatever?" Because I try to be positive instead of negative. My response was, I don't want to feed the fear. There's so many people feeding the fear, and it's just causing it to go more and more and more. It's just getting worse. But if we put the positive out there with all the negative, I think that eventually the positive is going to win.
Sure.
So,
Well, it's not, I don't think it's a matter of winning or losing. It's a matter of harmonizing,
yes.
growing
Yeah.
from that harmony into a direction. I think we're always going to have that duality as long
Absolutely.
as long as
Absolutely.
well, maybe not.
It's
Maybe when
polarity.
it ascends, as the planet is supposedly ascending, the consciousness is ascending. Maybe we will beat the duality out. I shouldn't say what I just said.
It's okay. It all falls in place.
Yes. Yeah.
That is true.
That's just your brain making predictions based on its experiences, Madeline,
Right.
which is
Right.
what we all do.
Well,
And the thing is,
I also found out over this tax thing that we were talking about, when I talk things over out loud to like Jim or somebody, or when I'm talking to people, I get different ideas, and then I go, yeah, well, and so I just look at that as the God thing that Thelma was talking about, which I have a problem with that word. The life, I really enjoyed when she said life. I use that all the time. And I realized life, it's not one or the other. It just is, you know. And once I realized, look, you've got this thing to think about, you got that thing to think about. Choose, you know. And
well,
that's the experience I had with the tax thing. Was I was really stressed, I was really frustrated, and I was at my wit's end, but I didn't go into anger, and I don't think I went into fear. But as I was experiencing all the feelings and everything, I realized I'm experiencing the feelings, but I'm not letting them take over. And I said to Thelma, I had science of mind in action, and I was aware of it. I was aware of watching science of mind happen during that tax ordeal. But it actually turned out to be the positive, because I learned a lot of new things that I didn't know. And I've been doing these tax things the same way for 30 some years. So that goes to show I was able to learn something new and simplify the process. So I'm not spending 2 or 3 days a month trying to get this ready. You know what I mean?
Well, Madeline, what you were doing is responding to your fear. You had fear of how am I going to get my taxes done, but you responded to it by thinking and looking at your choices instead of reacting. And when we react, then that's when we're going to do the fight, flee, or freeze. And also, when you were talking to Jim, we use a different part of our brain when we are talking to someone else than when we're in our own thoughts. And because we get the feedback or the input or the way we need to clarify things to communicate to them helps us to understand ourselves better as well. And that's why, as human beings, we do better when we have community that we can talk about and share things that are going on for us with each other, as opposed to being autonomous, isolated beings that just go around and don't need anybody else. Because I'm in my own head and I'm thinking what I need to do. And, like my teenage daughters, you don't need to tell me what to do. I know what to do, you know. And so, yeah, that's community. It's all how things, work out when we respond to our fears instead of reacting. And so, and then the other thing is when we allow our that fearful thing that was just pointed out to us by the news or whatever, and then we start our negative fantasies running down the road based on that fear. That's how we work ourselves up. That's how we get ourselves really frightened. Then we react from the amygdala, and then, well, I'm just going to flee and I'm not going to watch the news. Well, that's okay if that's what you need to do. But if I can learn to respond to it and say, no, I'm in control of how I'm going to respond to this, the experience isn't going to dictate what I do, then, I can watch the news and then be still able to come from my love of what I want as opposed to reacting from the fear of what I don't want. So that's what you did with your taxes.
Damn, I want to thank you for a beautiful message, a meaningful message. This, I don't know, the things that are going on, I'm an empath and I feel other people's pain. And and I'm like John Anthony. I don't have a problem watching the news because I need to be informed. I need to know to be informed so I can know what to treat for. So, like on Friday, I saw something, that was actually happening. So it wasn't somebody saying it happened and making it look worse than what it was or anything like that. I saw an interaction between a gentleman and two bullies, two thugs, and just ramming that guy, and everything. And it just made me, I wasn't fearful, but it made me feel so bad, that I cried. And I just, I said, okay, I need to treat. And for the first time in a long time, I'm sure it's happened somewhere along the lines, I didn't even know what to treat for, how to treat, because it had gotten to this point, and so then I treated that I would have the words to treat. And what came to me was something out of Ernest Holmes', book, Science of Mind book, um, that I prayed that the spirit of the Christ would just cancel out the spirit of this antichrist that's going on. And just that's all I could pray. That's all I could treat for. Because I think that most people feel helpless. That's what it is. We are. We're helpless. Now, I don't know about the fear. Maybe some people are. I think if we had enough, no, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say if we had enough sense, we'd be fearful because everything is getting ready to change, and everything. But I know that something you said in the beginning, we will always be expressing infinity, and the greatest aspect of what you said there for me is that the infinite God is always with us, through us, and as us. And so I can just hide in that. So thank you for a beautiful service today.
Robin, you're lit up, but we couldn't hear you. I don't know if you were trying to talk or.
Did you say something?
Your box lit up, and I didn't know if you were trying to talk or if you were just moving, and we heard the sound of you moving.
No, I was just moving.
Okay. Anybody else have anything to say before I end the recording?
Thank you, Thelma, for a wonderful service. And thank you, Madeline. And thank you, John Anthony. And thanks, everyone, for coming. It's wonderful to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa.
Much love and blessings.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Robin. Hi, Linda.
Hey,
Hi,
Lisa.
Lisa. Hi,
Hi,
Shelley.
everybody.
I
Thanks,
was going to
Thelma.
go ahead, Patricia.
I was just going to say thank you, Thelma, for the message, and thank all of you for the comments that you made. Just want to encourage you to remember who you are and to stand in that understanding of who you are, recognizing that those around you are a part of the change that you are looking for. You are that change, they are that change. And so if we're willing to take responsibility for our own energy as we move through this time, witnessing it and knowing that we have the power. We are the power, and that the divine is still commanding this show. These things are happening for the change to occur. So move if we can work to move the resistance for changing, put it into the willingness to change, the willingness to see the opportunity and to drop, as Thelma has said, to see these quote challenges as opportunities. And so I've been sharing that encouragement. Merely changing the word challenge to opportunity has helped some of the people that I know, and I'm sharing that with you as well. We are affected. Linda says she's an empath. And I have another friend, and woe is me, because everybody has a view, and she is mixing in with the energies of those views. Well, again, I'm now understanding more clearly. This is the time for us to be responsible for our own energy. The Creator has placed itself in us to give us that chance, that choice to let it shine, be the beacon that we talk of, So we know of some things. Now we are given an opportunity to be those things that we know. So with that, I'm off the soapbox. I just want to thank you very much for letting it shine. And I wish you all a wonderful week and encourage you to, stand in your light and be what you know.
Yep.
Amen, Patricia. And the thing is, I keep reminding myself that there are no accidents, and we are all here by divine appointment. We've all chose to be here at this time. And so collectively, we know what to do. It's a question of whether we'll do it. Because we each have a part. Like Thelma said, there's no insignificant person on this plane at this time. Everyone has value, everyone has a place, everyone has a role. And we each have to discern what is ours to do and then do it. It's a beautiful whole. Just got to keep remembering it's a beautiful whole.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. This has been wonderful. I do appreciate you all.
We appreciate you, Thelma.
Yes,
And
we do.
and John Anthony and everyone is here.
All together, we all make it work. Everybody plays their part. When we listen and then we give our, response to what was said, it just helps to make the collective experience. I was reminded of when I was in the 8th and 9th grade, I had this French teacher, Mrs. Parr, and she allowed me to be the class clown, and I was always making jokes. And when I was going to type in underneath Supportive Alliance, what's his name? Because I can relate to, having those experiences myself, where something I've known, for years, and then all of a sudden I can't grasp it with my thinking. I have to wait, and then it comes to me, and then as I get older too, just things that people say and hear. I want to make a comment, like with you, Matt, and you were talking about, your things, and I was listening to the first part, and then the second part, and then I couldn't remember the first part that I wanted to say about it, So it's all part about, my getting older, and the tricks that my ability to recall can play on me, and my kids think, that I'm, just, I'm stupid, I told you that already, Daddy. Don't you remember? No, I forgot, hon. I'm sorry. But I owe you a cat myself. I know I'm not stupid. I'm just getting older and I need to hear things a second time sometimes. Okay. Speak now or forever hold
Okay,
your peace.
that's what I was gonna say. I'm having a hard time with this little phone, but and I came in on the conversation when we were talking, when Madeline was talking about using her cell phone now exclusively as opposed to the landline. But the point that I was going to make, you said it needs to be you told your daughter, John Anthony, that you just need to have things told to you another time. And so I'm just going to give you this one. And it's not just for you, because I hear this from this collective. And Lisa is aware. I have asked everyone to become aware of not calling me a guy. I am not a guy. And John Anthony said, Robin and Linda, you guys. I said, those are two women. He won't remember and recognize their femininity. And so I'm asking you all to just remember me. Don't call me a guy. I'm being an empath on that one. I'm very sensitive to that.
Okay. Well,
Thank
point
you.
well taken.
Yeah.
I'll do my best.
That's all I'm asking, and I know that best is grander than most people's. That best is better than the average bear.
Yes, and just to show how things evolve with technology and everything else. My twin daughters call each other bro. Hey, bro. But I'll keep in mind. I'll try to be mindful of that.
Thank you. I just see it as the collective effort to continue to diminish and dismiss the feminine energy. And so I know it's all done in jest. I know no one is meaning or intending for it to be a harmful comment or a disrespectful comment. However, it is. A bunch of guys, I walked up to a bunch of guys and say, hey, gals, how y'all doing? Somebody might want to slap me. Or walk up to a bunch of guys and say, hello, ladies. No, they would not, you would not appreciate that. So, I am just, that's my new ministry, y'all.
I hear your wounds about that misdirection of people. I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying.
Yeah. All right. I love you. Thank you much.
I love you too.
Yeah.
All of you. So thank you for being on, and just seeing your faces and hearing your voices is wonderful. So thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.